It's 6 a.m, the alarm screams, and she doesn't move. Mel Robbins lies in bed, staring at the ceiling of her small bedroom. The blankets feel heavy, not from warmth, from weight. Outside that door, her life is falling apart. Her marriage is crumbling. Her bank account is empty. Bill collectors call every day. She has a law degree gathering dust and dreams she stopped believing in years ago. And every morning, it's the same. The alarm, the ceiling, the paralysis. But on this particular morning, buried under the weight of failure, shame, and silence, something is about to snap. Not her spirit, her pattern. Because sometimes, the life you're meant to live is just 5 seconds away from the life you're stuck in. Mel Robbins wasn't always lost. She grew up in Michigan, the daughter of hard-working parents, smart, ambitious. The kind of kid who believed if you worked hard enough, success would follow. She went to Dartmouth, then Boston College Law School. On paper, she was winning. But life has a way of humbling even the best-laid plans. She became a criminal defense attorney, married, had 3 kids. From the outside, it looked like she had it all. But behind closed doors, the cracks were spreading. Her restaurant business failed, debt piled up. The house was being foreclosed. Her husband struggled to find work. And Mel, brilliant, educated Mel, couldn't fix any of it. She started drinking more, sleeping less, avoiding mirrors and conversations. And every single morning, when that alarm went off, she hit snooze, not because she was tired, because she was terrified of facing another day of her own life. The shame was suffocating. Mel would drop her kids off at school, smile at the other parents, pretend everything was fine. Then she'd come home and collapse. She stopped answering the phone, stopped checking the mail. The utilities were getting shut off. The marriage was hanging by a thread. And the worst part, she knew better. She had a law degree. She'd been successful before. She should have been able to turn this around. But knowledge doesn't cure paralysis. Every night, she'd lie in bed and tell herself, tomorrow I'll start. Tomorrow I'll get up early. I'll work out. I'll make calls. I'll be better. And every morning, she'd hit snooze. 5 times, 6 times, until her kids were late and she was scrambling and hating herself all over again. She wasn't lazy, she was drowning. And no one tells you what to do when you're the one who's supposed to have the answers, and you have none. Her rock bottom wasn't dramatic, it was quiet. It was a woman lying in bed, afraid of her own life, unable to move. Then one night, everything changed. Not because of a book, not because of a guru, because of a rocket ship. Mel was flipping through channels late at night, another sleepless spiral, when she saw a NASA launch on TV. She watched the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the rocket launched. No hesitation, no second guessing, just ignition. And something clicked. She thought, what if I did that? What if, when the alarm goes off, I don't think, I don't negotiate, I just move? 5 seconds, that's it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. The next morning, the alarm rang. And instead of thinking about how tired she was, how hopeless things felt, how much easier it would be to stay in bed, she counted 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And she got up. It wasn't elegant, it wasn't inspired, but she moved. And that one small act, that 5-second decision, cracked something open. She started using it everywhere. 5 seconds to get out of bed, 5 seconds to make the call, 5 seconds to walk into the gym, 5 seconds to say the hard thing. It wasn't about motivation, it was about momentum. And momentum, she realized, doesn't care how you feel. It just needs you to start. Mel didn't become a millionaire overnight, but she became someone who showed up. She started taking small actions. making small bets on herself, saying yes to opportunities that scared her. She began speaking, sharing her story, teaching others what she'd learned in that dark bedroom, and people listened. Because Mel wasn't selling perfection, she was selling survival, and survival is something everyone understands. Her TEDx talk on the 5-second rule became one of the most watched talks in history. Millions of views, millions of people who saw themselves in her story. She wrote books, built a business, became one of the most sought-after motivational speakers in the world. But more than that, she rebuilt her life, her marriage, her finances, her confidence. Not because she stopped feeling fear, but because she stopped letting fear decide. Today, Mel Robbins is a powerhouse, a voice for the stuck, the scared, the people who think it's too late. And it all started with 5 seconds. 5 seconds between the person she was and the person she needed to become. Here's the truth, Mel discovered. You will never feel like doing the hard thing. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you're ready. Because your brain is wired to keep you safe, to keep you small, to keep you in bed. But your life, the one you dream about, the one you deserved, doesn't live in comfort. It lives in the decision. The 5-second gap between knowing and doing, between wanting and becoming. Mel Robbins teaches us that transformation isn't about big, sweeping changes. It's about small, brave moments. It's about counting backward when your mind is screaming forward. It's about moving before fear has time to talk you out of it. Because the person you're meant to be isn't on the other side of perfection. They're on the other side of action. So the next time you feel stuck, the next time the alarm goes off and you want to hide, remember, you were always 5 seconds away from a different life. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go.